What's up, guys? This video is in response to the question, Elliot, what are your goals, specifically your fitness goals for 2013? So the way I'm going to answer this question is by approaching each of the 4 layers of strength that I've spoken about in some of these videos, that I speak often about in my newsletter, as well as my certification course, my Strengthology certification course. Those 4 layers of strength are neuromuscular strength, physiological strength, energetic strength, and presentable strength. I'll describe each of those briefly and then tell you what my goals are with regard to each one of those. The very first thing is the reason why I break down strength into those 4 layers is because through my experience I've found that the development of one particular type of strength in absence of the others leaves you in balance. So for example, if you got someone who has great neuromuscular strength, a power lifter, a strong man, like me for example, but has reached their particular goal by degrading their physiological strength, either through poor diet, overtraining, stressing the body, steroids, overuse of supplements, things of that nature, you then have a strength imbalance. The 4 layers are not balanced. You've got tremendous neuromuscular strength to the detriment of your health, your physiological strength, which basically is a combination of what's happening hormonally and digestively. I'll describe that later. And then there's energetic strength. Energetic strength is really your psychological profile, how you're thinking about your life and how you're proceeding in the world based on your psychological character. Also, energetic strength is manifested through what I've described as neurotic holding patterns. Basically, your body takes a beating from your mental stress. Your body will take the form of a particular mental stress. So for example, this is a very obvious one, and this proves my point that everything that I'm saying here is true. If you've ever gone to some of these psychological seminars, or if you've ever taken a psychology class in school, the professor may have told you to pretend that you are cutting open a lemon and it's all juicy and dripping down your elbow, and then you take a bite out of that lemon. Now, it's an imaginary fucking lemon, right? But the thing is, the way you're thinking, the psychological stimulus creates a response in your body where you start salivating, right? You could do this. And it happens at a muscular level. It happens at a physiological level, where the way we proceed in life psychologically manifests itself physically. And fear and depression are probably the 2 that are the biggest detriments to our physical health. Fear, I would say, I put right at the top of it. You know, a lot of us think we're not scared, but ask people to take action in particular directions where there's uncertainty and their balls tighten up and their breath shortens, right? Just take notice. And then there's presentable strength, which is the 4th layer, and that is where you go out into the world and you share the gifts that you are developing as you become the strongest version of yourself, right? Because as we develop our own strength in the first 3 layers, to keep it to ourselves is useless. That's why I make these videos. That's why I write my ebooks. That's why I do Yo Elliott live events, because that is my form of presentable strength, presenting your strength to the world so that you can inspire others to grow stronger. Okay, so that's my original rant. To preface the goals in each one of those 4 layers for Elliott Hulse in 2013. As far as neuromuscular strength is concerned, I've had to battle for several years. Since probably 2007, I have been building bigger, stronger muscles, have been involved in strength sports, and even as early as last year, I did 3 strongman events. Now, I'm struggling because in 2013, I'm getting a sense from my body that it's time to hang that up. And what I'm going to do in 2013, I'm going to test the waters, not in that I have never done this before, because prior to 2007, I was who I am going to become now. My main goal is going to be structural integrity, not physical strength. I've deadlifted 700 pounds. I've won strongman shows. I've lifted stones and tires, and it's not to say that I won't be doing those things any longer. But I won't be doing a strongman competition for the first time in 5 years this year, and I'm not that interested in how much I bench press any longer. My strength will always be a gift. You know, I was born this way. I can always get strong very quickly. My structural integrity, right? I've talked about this several times. The strength of my core and the strength of my posture has suffered because of the beatings that I put on my body through the years of strength training and bodybuilding. Now, like I said, it's not to say that those things won't be a big part of my program, but the main objective in that layer of strength for 2013 for me is structural integrity. And that means corrective stretching, core exercises, balancing the body, and bringing reaching my full biomechanic potential. So all joints in their instantaneous axis of rotation, all muscles, particularly within the core. The core muscles are interesting, and when I say the core muscles, I'm speaking mainly of all the muscles that surround, that are most proximal to the skull and the spinal column, right? Your neck, shoulders, and stomach and hips, right? Core strength. And your core strength is really where all of your true strength emanates from. It comes from the most proximal parts of your body. So, that being said, a lot of the exercises that I'm going to be doing is going to be a rehash. I'm bringing back Swiss ball exercises I've done in the past, and I'll be teaching you guys more about. I'll be using the club bells. I like them a lot, and I'll be using some of Scott Sonin's club bell yoga. And I'll talk to you about yoga in a moment because that's a big part of my program as well. Type exercises, cable type exercises, and of course, barbell exercises. You will notice a change of my body, right? You probably noticed a change in my body since 2007. I've lost several pounds. I will continue losing weight. I like to be at about 190 and be super functional and fit, and that means structural integrity. I'm going to be using that term a lot this year, and I may even create a video course for you guys to consume so you can develop your own structural integrity, right? Neuromuscular strength through structural integrity. They're not new things. I've spoken about these before. The links down below to my advanced courses teach you more about it. So that's that. Physiological strength is one that I had let drop off quite a bit during my strength development years, my growing bigger and stronger, steroids, strongman, powerlifting years. I've let physiological strength fall to the wayside, especially during these times. I've also built a family. Since 2007 till now, I've built a family, 4 children, have bought homes, moved gyms, built my business. So it has been a very stressful 6 years, right? It's been a very stressful 6 years. I am just now coming into my own with regard to my business. My family is stable, that's it. I can't have any more children. I've been snipped purposefully, that's it. I'm seedless. Got 4 kids, we're done. And during that time, my diet has suffered. So what I'm going to do henceforth, 2013, is as I'm beginning this week, I'm doing a raw vegan cleanse, right? I've spoken about this in my newsletter last week. I'll put links down below to blog posts where I talk about it. But basically, for the next 2 weeks, I'm not eating any meat, any dairy products, any grains, and any sugar. It's the first time I've done it. I'm on my 3rd day, and no, I'm sorry, I'm on my 2nd day, and it's really no big deal. I'm following a program that was designed by Yuri El-Kahim in combination with supplements that I'm using, called the main supplement that I'll be using to replace meals during these 3 weeks. These 2 weeks is Living Fuel. I've spoken about this before. I'll put links down below, or if I have a blog post down below describing all this, you can see it down below. And during these 2 weeks, in order to get the amount of protein that I need, Living Fuel uses a lot of brown rice and yellow pea protein. I've been studying this, I've been looking at this, and the amino acid profile with regard to brown rice and yellow pea protein seems very similar to meat. Now, it's not replacing meat, but it's something that will sustain my strength and my muscle for these 2 weeks. Very excited about this. If you notice, my energy is a bit calmer, namely because I'm not doing caffeine right now either. And after that 2 weeks, I'm gonna go back to a grain-free, sugar-free diet. I'll be bringing back in my grass-fed meats and salmon. You know, and I use a company called Vital Choice to get salmon, and I use Grassland Organics. I think they changed their name to US Wellness Meats for grass-fed beef. That'll be the staple of my meats. I'll probably only be eating 1 meat meal a day. This is all an experiment. This is all Elliott providing you with more bro science through my own experiences, right? I'm gonna try this out, let you know how it goes for me. So that will also, right, cleaning up my digestive system, repairing it with these supplements and cleanses is going to add to my neuromuscular strength, my structural integrity, right? This is why that's why there are layers of strength. They all support each other. Because a lot of the inflammation that I know is present within my digestive system will be reduced, and which will allow my core muscles, namely my inner unit, transversus abdominis, pelvic floor muscles, to get stronger, because my physiology will lack that inhibition I've spoken about several times before, viscerosomatic inhibition, whereby the organs become inflamed and stimulated and shut down the muscle's ability to work, right? And then there is obviously, like I spoke before, about reducing stress. And this is the hormonal part, the adrenal part of physiological strength. And the way I will do that is by continuing with meditation and also combining a lot of my energetic strength ideas into my routine in order to keep my parasympathetic or my autonomic nervous system in a more parasympathetic state. See, I've spoken about this before, where your autonomic nervous system is kind of like a scale, right? And it should be even. But due to stress, environmental stress, psychological stresses, dietary stresses, the sympathetic branch of that nervous system tends to get very heavy, let's call it this one, and cause an imbalance where you're stimulating the adrenals and you are essentially in an overcatabolic state. We are all experiencing this to some degree. So what I will do is work more to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system with my anabolic energizer exercises. These are all things that you guys, if you've been following me in my website, you know what I'm talking about, as well as meditation. And combining the third layer of strength, which is energetic strength, where I will be using bioenergetics. I continue to, 2012 was my bioenergetic year. I discovered, learned, implemented, and taught a lot of what I learned with regard to bioenergetics, and I'm going to continue studying it. In fact, I'm going into a postgraduate program, a certificate program, to continue learning that and how to apply it, because it is the essence of, like I showed you, layers. It's the essence of, or foundation of, your physiological and neuromuscular strength. If you are psychologically stressed to a degree that your physiology and your muscular system are taking a beating, which is very evident, very obvious. I don't have links to studies, but this is just all common knowledge. Psychological stress, your mental state will damage your body, right? So it doesn't matter how fucking strong you are on the barbell. It doesn't matter if you're vegan or if you're paleo. If you're psychologically stressed, such that your energy, the energetic systems are deteriorating the health of your physiology and your neuromuscular strength, your muscular strength, then all of that is worth shit. The way I will be stimulating and working with energetic strength is a combination of bioenergetics and yoga. I've been taking yoga classes for the past several weeks, and I find it to be a gentler form of bioenergetics. It doesn't strike as deep into the energetic systems, into the muscular systems as bioenergetics, but it can be sustained much longer. So these are exercises that break up neurotic holding patterns within the joints, within your muscular system, and deepens your breathing, which is one of the main points of bioenergetics that I've been talking about for so long, breathing into your balls. So these are all very important points, things that need to be considered. Those are the three. The fourth layer is presentable strength, and the way I will approach this is in the same way I've approached it in 2013. I will be bringing you more frequency with regard to videos and higher quality videos. And my quality videos aren't the same as a lot of other guys where they've got great graphics and editing and all this cool stuff. The quality of my videos, if you're watching this long, right, because this is probably a pretty long video, you probably appreciate the quality of my videos, comes from my understanding, my experience, my knowledge, and my wisdom with regard to application in all 4 layers of strength. If you like my channel, if you enjoy listening to me, it's probably because you enjoy my perspectives, which are very unique in our space, YouTube, the fitness world in particular. And I will continue to envelop myself with those ideas and share them with you through these videos. I'd like to hold at least 4 Yo Elliott Live events for 2013 that I'm always inviting you guys to. I have one coming up in San Diego in just a few weeks. I'll put a link down below if I remember also. I think I'm gonna make a blog post about this, so everything that I mentioned will be in it. And continue to build out Strengthology and my mission to become the strongest version of myself, but at the same time inspire you, inspire others to become the strongest versions of themselves. In a world where there's such uncertainty, in a world where everyone is being stimulated by fear and manipulated by the powers to be, the best thing, the most unselfish thing that you can do, the most powerful thing that you can do, the most resourceful use of your life is to become a stronger version of yourself through these 3 layers of strength, right? Become a stronger version of yourself and then use that 4th layer to share the message with others. This is the only way these ideas spread. But the fact that we have the internet means that we're living in the most prolific information spreading time that mankind has ever experienced since the advent of the book, the alphabet, right? So I will be using these methods, Facebook, YouTube, to continue to share with you guys, continue growing my ideas, continue growing my message, continue growing the audience that subscribes to these ideas or at least is entertained by me when I'm going nuts. So that's it. I'm really excited to have you guys on board. I don't get to all comments. It's impossible for me to respond to all my Facebook and YouTube comments, but I'd be interested if you were to share your ideas down below. Perhaps I'll scroll through. If something catches my eye or if you have a question about anything I just spoke about and I had the opportunity, I'll respond to you. But that's it, guys. I'm really excited about the future. We're excited about serving you, and I'm excited about you and your journey to growing stronger. Talk to you next time.